Hey, we're going to talk about Bosch Motorsport Injectors. And yeah, we are AI voices. But this entire conversation has been built on the 30 plus years that EFI hardware has been in business, and it's been human approved.
You could say we're fueled by experience.
Okay, so EFI hardware, they're in Australia, right?
Yeah. They're a big name in performance fuel injection, especially for motorsports, and they're an authorized Bosch Motorsport dealer. So wherever you are, if you're looking to upgrade, they've got you covered.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So for someone who might not know, what's the big deal about fuel injectors? Why are they so important?
Well, think of them as the gatekeepers of your engine's power. They deliver the precise amount of fuel needed for each cylinder to combust, which directly impacts your car's performance.
And Bosch Motorsport Injectors are like the high-end version of that.
Exactly. They're designed to handle the demands of high-performance engines, the kind you see in racing or modified cars that are pushing the limits. Plus, they're often compatible with alternative fuels like E85, which is a big plus for a lot of performance enthusiasts.
Let's get into the specifics. I was looking at their website, and they have a listing for a Bosch Injector 347cc at 3-bar EV14 E85, compatible with extended nose. What does all that even mean?
It's like a code that tells you everything you need to know about that specific injector. Let's break it down.
All right, so 347cc. I'm guessing that's got something to do with how much fuel it delivers.
You got it. That's the flow rate. 347 cubic centimeters of fuel per minute, to be exact. Tuning your engine for optimal performance hinges on getting this number right.
Okay, and what about at 3-bar? That sounds like something out of a physics textbook.
It is physics, actually. It means the flow rate is measured at a fuel pressure of 3 bar. Different injectors have different pressure ratings, and this is key for comparing them accurately.
So it's not just about the flow rate on its own.
Got it.
What about like half the size of a regular injector?
It refers to the physical size of the injector body, which is important for fitment in different engine setups. You need to make sure it physically fits in your engine bay without interfering with other components.
Makes sense. E85 compatible seems pretty straightforward.
Right. It means this injector can handle the corrosive properties of ethanol-blended fuels. That's a big deal for performance cars using E85 for its higher octane and cooling benefits.
Okay, last one. Extended nose. What's so special about the nose?
That's a physical characteristic of the injector tip, and it likely affects the fuel spray pattern within the combustion chamber. Bosch doesn't always release specifics about these design features, but it's safe to say it's engineered to optimize fuel atomization and combustion for better performance.
So all these little details really do matter when you're talking about performance tuning.
Absolutely. Every component needs to work in harmony to get the most out of your engine, and choosing the right injectors is a critical piece of that puzzle. You know, it's interesting how much emphasis is placed on those tiny injectors. They're small, but they play a massive role.
Well, you mentioned E85 earlier, and that seems to be getting more and more popular. Are Bosch Motorsport Injectors the only ones that can handle that?
Not necessarily the only ones, but they're certainly known for their compatibility and reliability with E85. Regular injectors can get corroded by ethanol over time, which obviously you don't want.
Right, that makes sense. So if someone is thinking about making the switch to E85, they'd need to factor in new injectors as part of the upgrade.
Definitely. And not just any E85 compatible injector will do. You still need to consider flow rate, spray pattern, all the things we talked about before, matched to your specific engine and performance goals.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Not at all. That's where EFI Hardware's expertise comes in. They can help you find the perfect set of injectors, whether you're running standard fuel E85 or even something more exotic.
Speaking of expertise, I noticed they also offer a bunch of other services related to fuel systems, like injector cleaning and testing.
Absolutely essential. Over time, fuel deposits can build up and affect the injector's performance. Cleaning and testing ensure they're delivering fuel optimally and can actually extend their lifespan.
Makes you wonder how many people are out there driving around with clogged injectors and no idea.
More than you'd think. It's one of those maintenance items that often gets overlooked but can make a big difference in how your engine runs.
EFI Hardware also has a whole section on their website for motorsport EV14 injectors. Is EV14 specific to motorsports?
You could say that they're built to handle the extreme conditions of racing. High RPMs, intense heat vibration, and the need for incredibly precise fuel control.
And EFI Hardware carries a whole range of them. I guess that makes sense given their focus on motorsports.
Right. And they don't just sell parts, they offer support and guidance based on their years of experience. They can help you choose the right injectors for your specific build and ensure everything is working properly.
So they're like a partner in the whole performance tuning process.
Exactly. And that kind of partnership can be invaluable, especially when you're dealing with high-performance modifications.
It's amazing how much goes into getting the most out of an engine. It's more than just bolting on some go-fast parts.
It's a science and an art. Every component plays a role, and fuel injectors are right at the heart of it all. They're the unsung heroes of horsepower, you could say.
I like that, the unsung heroes. So we've talked a lot about injectors, but I'm curious to learn more about EFI Hardware's custom work. What kind of projects do they take on?
That's a great question, and one we should definitely explore further. They mention custom work testing and even fabrication on their website. It sounds like they have the capability to handle some pretty complex builds.
So we've gone pretty deep on injectors, but, they're just one piece of the puzzle, right? What else do people need to think about when it comes to, like, squeezing the most out of their engine?
You're absolutely right. It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation and all the right components working together. Fuel injectors are essential, but you also need to consider things like air intake, exhaust flow, ignition timing, and of course the engine management system.
It's all connected.
Exactly. Everything needs to be in sync for optimal performance. You can have the best injectors in the world, but if your air intake is restrictive or your exhaust is bottlenecking, you're not going to see the full potential.
EFI Hardware seems to get that. I mean, they offer a lot more than just injectors on their website.
That's what makes them stand out. They have a holistic approach to performance tuning. They understand that it's about the entire system working together harmoniously, and they have the expertise and the product range to support that.
It really makes you wonder what kind of wild custom builds they've done over the years.
Oh, I would love to see some of those projects. Imagine the challenges they face and the innovative solutions they've come up with.
This whole conversation has really opened my eyes to the world of fuel injectors and performance tuning in general. It's a lot more complex than I initially thought.
It's a fascinating field,
Yeah.
constantly evolving with the new technologies and approaches. And at the end of the day, it's all about that pursuit of power efficiency and that perfect driving experience.
And EFI Hardware seems to be right there on the cutting edge, helping enthusiasts achieve those goals.
Absolutely. They're a valuable resource for anyone looking to take their car's performance to the next level.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
Indeed. Until next time, keep those engines running smoothly.